When people think of fungi, the most characteristic species has to be the fly agaric, with its bright red and white peppered top. Today it's to be seen adorning many children's books with little fairies or pixies sat on its top. But the name actually goes back to an old wise woman's legend. It used to be blended in with milk, placed in the saucer in the kitchen, and it would attract in the flies. But after consumption, they would quickly die. The Romans had a vested interest in the Hope Valley, and the reason for that lies in the depths of the hills above me. Tacitus believed that Britannia was full of silver and gold, but here they found a different kind of treasure, lead. Hark at it! If you hear a local Derbyshireman say that, it means, look at the weather, and isn't it beautiful? In fact, it means it's pouring down. Because in the Peak District, for quite a large portion of the time, it's raining. And when it's not raining, it's drizzling and it's grey. George's closest friend at the time was also from Endon. Herbert Foster was a like-minded individual, although more highly educated than George. He went to a school in Uttoxeter and had access to a fine library. Still, the young men were very like-minded, sharing a love not only of literature and poetry, but also for the landscape and wildlife of the moorlands. Today, practically nothing is visible of the original cave system. It was cut out in the early Pleistocene before the erosion of the Great Matlock Gorge. All of the cave system that was here has now been fully excavated by the miners over the centuries. The huge wall that surrounds the Swivnley estate was originally constructed in the 19th century. Many of the walls in the Peak District trick us into a belief that they are incredibly ancient. Covered in mosses and lichens, they have the appearance of something that has lasted many centuries. Passing through the luxuriant foliage, whole rocks seem to rise in perpendicular masses on both sides. On the next meander, Pickering Tor rises to an unseen height, the hillside broken into spiny pinnacles which stand up like fragments of some wide ruin. Whilst on your right, Island Rock, an enormous mass of isolated stone, rises sheer out of the water. The wheel of the year turns. All around us new life springs to the surface. The pace of spring is quickening. The nights are drawing in, the days are drawing out, and now is the time of the ancient pagan fire festival at Beltane. Practically unheard of in the Peak District up until a few decades ago, what we have here is a fascinating example of prehistoric rock carvings 4,000 years old. Practically all our evidence for Paleolithic man comes from caves. And there's a simple reason for that. Over the last million years, glaciers have continually eroded and scoured the landscape of the British Isles. But the caves that lie in some of our deep gorges, especially in the limestone country, offered some protection. A cold breeze issues forth from the depths of this unholy chasm. Come on then.